here. It's good, guys. Boy with the Savage back again. Savagetalks live. Friday edition. Friday before SmackDown. How are we doing? How's everybody doing? In fact, let's chop it up, man. We're here for a good time, not a long time. It feels like it's been a minute, man. I think the last show was the Raw review, I think. Well, one of the Raw review was just more, yeah, it was a bit of a shambles. But big up, man. Big up Chang, obviously. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. You know what I'm saying? Big up Morris. Everyone inside, man. Hope everyone's well, man. Yeah, we're just gonna chop it up today. Some slight. You know what I mean? Obviously, the main topic of this one is AJ Lee, and I do want to have, yeah, I mean, little commentary on AJ Lee and what I think is going to happen here and what I think possibly should happen, could happen, what WWE is likely to do. Few topics. I know The Rock's weight loss has been on the agenda a lot this week and trying to avoid it, but now I see people throwing shots at The Rock. I'd say enough in it, bro. So going to cover that as well. We're going to talk The Rock. John Cena's final dates have been, they're set in stone now, and a bit of a shocker there with one of the dates. His final date has shocked me a little bit. Not the final date, but where it is, the location. So we're going to get to that as well. And then anything else, we'll probably go through the some of the news sites, see if there's anything there. I have to try and avoid any spoilers and that, but I don't think there is any. So, but love for the love. I hope everyone's well, take care of themselves. And a lot of you guys I spoke to you today already in the Discord. I know a lot of you have been asking for Wrestle Discord as well. I need to sit down and go through it properly because I think I've messed my Discord up, to be honest. I had one prior for something else that I was doing, some business stuff. And then I have my own Discord in terms of my Discord account that you go into another Discord with. But I've done something with mine on it, so I need to go into it. I'm going to watch a video on it or read up on it a little bit so I can get it properly. Because I know that obviously on Discord you can do video calls, you can stream and stuff like that on there. So it's actually like a decent thing in it, and I feel like I might open up the Discord to the members on the channel or mods only. That way we can police it a little bit, because I don't think everybody should be getting access to all of the gems and that. You know what I mean? Everyone already gets the content for free. I think everyone should get access to the gems on there and to my people, because I don't want any disrespectful people on there, you know, like that. But yeah, man, I hope everyone's well. Let's get into this, man. Let's start with John Cena. We'll finish off with AJ Lee, because obviously it's going to be the biggest talking point. I don't really want to be here for long, but obviously I say this all the time and then I end up being here for a long time, so who knows, innit? Speaking of John Cena is on today's SmackDown. So yeah, so one of his appearances. I think if I'm correct, he had 9 appearances before the last pay-per-view. What pay-per-view did we just do? What was rubbish? No, it was good. What did we just do? Am I dreaming here? Help me out, then. What was the last pay-per-view we just did? I don't even know. That's how dark it's getting. I know it was in the end of August. Let me know. Paris, Clash in Paris. Yes, so John Cena had a match against Logan Paul there. That was his 9th. That was the 9th. Well, he had 9 appearances left before that. He's got 8 now. Another one today, SmackDown, is 7. So he'll have 7 left going into December, which I guess is about right. 3 months till December, September, October, November. 6, yeah. I guess in 2 each month, and then the final one. But what was interesting to me is that the final, and I got it here. So who reported it? Okay, so John Cena's final appearances have now been confirmed. He's on SmackDown, Chicago, Illinois today on September the 5th. Raw, Springfield, Massachusetts, September 15th. WrestlePalooza, Indianapolis, September 20th. Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia, October 11th. His final Raw appearance not his final Raw appearance in his hometown of Boston, Massachusetts is November the 10th. Raw in New York at the Madison Square Garden, November 17th. Survivor Series, San Diego, California, November 29th. And then his retirement match. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So 5 TV appearances, and then the rest are pay-per-views. This is the kicker for me. This is what's very interesting. The final retirement match, Saturday night main event. Obviously, you just heard me say before the New York one, it's Boston. Anyone know where Boston's situated? And New York, they're not far away from each other, and they're within 7 days of each other as well. Okay, so my guess is that with SmackDown and Raw coming up the next 2, and then WrestlePalooza, we're likely to get a Brock Lesnar appearance at some point there. It'd be very shocking if we don't get a Brock Lesnar appearance today or the following Raw. It has to happen either way, because we can't be going into WrestlePalooza with no Brock Lesnar appearance and John Cena versus Brock, if John Cena or Brock does happen. The thing what I was shocked about, and the thing what caught me off a little bit, big up to everyone in the chat by the way, is the final appearance Saturday night main event is not in Boston, Massachusetts. So he's in Boston, Massachusetts when he's got 4 appearances left, which is his hometown, which we all assumed and we all thought, WWE kind of speculated that, yes, Boston, Massachusetts is going to be his final, which would make sense to give him his final appearance in his hometown. John Cena's final appearance is in Washington, D.C. What? It's in Washington, D.C.? Big up Alexander. Big up Zach. I'm very confused, bro. So you mean to tell me, on top of... Oh, and they're going to have all these stupid aerial shots of the White House, aren't they? So you mean to tell me, on top of the fact that this terrible heel run that they gave John Cena, this terrible world tour that they gave John Cena, because it's been rubbish. Let's not make any bones about it. Whether you're a John Cena fan or not, this has been not good at all. It's when I mean at all, I mean there's been some good matches. I think if you go based on the matches he's had so far, half have been good, half have been You know what I mean? John Cena versus R-Truth was good. John Cena versus Cody, the first time was trash. The second time was good. Really good, in fact. I will give him that. John Cena versus Logan was a good match. John Cena versus Randy. You know what I mean? John Cena versus... You know what I mean? So it's been a bit up and down, which is fine if you're not retiring and you're not John Cena. I just thought that there was more respect for John Cena than what they've given him. They asked John Cena about his final opponents, and he said verbatim that it's not him. You know that I am not the one who make the matches. I would prefer to, you know what I mean, give somebody an opportunity. And they said that, and then they put him against Logan Paul in one of his final appearances. So, obviously, Washington, D.C. has the fact that John Cena is so patriotic and everything's saluting and you know what I mean, that the troops and that and all that. I get it. So he's probably going to, you know what I mean, standing there, he's going to have a way. But I'm just saying, the better option would have been Boston. It would have been Boston. Boston would have been the best. But you know what? I guess you could say I'm complaining too much. Let me check something here. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I was just checking where he made his debut, but I'm pretty sure it was Chicago as well. So him being his final appearance being in Chicago tonight makes sense. But I really thought last match would be in Boston versus Orton. No, I'll be honest. I didn't expect his final match to be against one of Orton or Brock or anyone like that, because you're not really doing anything for the company. And John Cena's always, say what you want about John Cena, he's all about giving back to the company and putting people over. Try anyway. You could argue that before burials and stuff, but now it's always been giving back, and he seems to be in place to do that. Yeah, if you remember as well, John Cena said that when he retires, he'll never wrestle in the ring again, but he would put on a suit and do stuff behind the scenes. I think it's a bit strange to me that Hey, listen, man. Whatever. I'm not here to complain about it. I just thought it was a bit strange. John Cena versus Bo Dallas. For what? Bo Dallas. I mean, you didn't even say Uncle Howdy. Bo Dallas's character has been obsolete from the company. Um, it. I think at this point it's too late. Unless tonight you see that an opponent kind of rears its head and speaks to John Cena, and you know what I mean. Unless that happens, where you've got a 3 month build to the final match. I'll be honest. I think John Cena's final match, if it's not Gunter, I think it's going to be a babyface. I've seen what WWE's done over the years. He's already fought Cody, so I don't think Cody's going to give him another title shot, and I don't think it makes sense to, because obviously they don't want him to walk out with the title. Although I said at the time I wouldn't have mind John Cena winning the title and relinquishing it. But listen, that's whatever. I think he's going. I feel like they're not going to put somebody over who needs it. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up fighting Sami Zayn. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sami Zayn, to be honest, bro. Now I've come to think about it. I would have gone based on how it's been on an NXT talent. Somebody who, yeah, I mean, there's quite a few. Not Javon Evans, Obafemi is possible. But then without giving a backstory to those characters, it doesn't really establish them beating John Cena. They just beat John Cena. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. But the dates are in, so lock them dates in for the people who are abroad, because I mean everyone in this chat seems to be in England at the moment, but I think there's few people. If you're willing to buy them John Cena final tickets for the final SmackDown, I think his final SmackDown price, cheapest tickets like 2,500. Good luck with that shit. Because even if it's John Cena's final SmackDown, it's still SmackDown, so it's not going to be good. Speaking of SmackDown hit their all-time lowest rating ever based on last week, which was a 1.1. A 1.1 rating. Now let me just check something here. WWE. I mean, I've got the database here, but SmackDown. Is it there? Where is it? Give me the information. What the fuck? Oh, put the wrong thing in there, didn't I? Bear with me, guys. So SmackDown got a 1.147, so 1 million. Yeah, bro, it's not. It's dark still. It's dark, bro. It's not looking good. Just to let you know that, like, let's not go back to. I'm not gonna go back to like ruthless aggression and all that attitude era, because let's be fair to them, innit? But just know the highest rating that we were getting in the middle of the bloodline was like 2.7s, 2.8s. That's a million people drop off, bro. 1 million. So when there's criticism of the product, when there's criticism of creativity, yeah. Leon France place where the crowd. I mean, no, because you're forgetting one thing here. You're looking at the live crowd. It doesn't matter how loud the crowd is. It doesn't matter how amazing the crowd is. That's got nothing to do with the TV rating. Nothing to do with it. Now, one could say that because they were abroad and it was the different time for the people in the US, that's why the rating's lower. But you gotta put it this way: USA Network for the people for the people on the East Coast was what, 3 o'clock. It's even better time to watch. Unless you people are saying that the people at work ain't watching, but it's a better time to watch. And then for the people on the West Coast, we're talking about 1 p.m. daytime. So it's not about being fair to them. I'm seeing a trajectory of SmackDown getting worse anyway with our eyes when we're watching it, and then on top of that, ratings dropping as well. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. John Cena ran it. John Cena. Anyway, let's talk The Rock. Big up to everyone in the chat, by the way. I'll take some questions at the end as well because I want to fly through this, to be honest. All right. If you've been living, well, sorry, pardon the comedic value, bro. I was about to say something, and I was gonna say if you've been living under a rock, which is not fitting for this conversation, unless you swing that way, but up to you. But unless you've been living under a stone and not been around the last week, not seeing that the exclusive premiere of Smashing Machine, which is The Rock's new movie. I can't wait to see it. I think it was at Cannes Festival. Actually, it weren't Cannes Festival because it was in Vienna or Venice, one of them two. But The Rock seems a bit like over the last few months of that, a little bit more. He's been quiet, a little bit more emotional in his philosophy talks and stuff online. Not many appearances. Before we saw him come out last week, the last time he was viewed properly on the social media was with Jelly Roll, I think. We saw that little clip of him backstage. Well, there was that American Idol backstage, and him and Jelly Roll were chopping it up. Big up Gary. So not much of The Rock, and then before that, obviously, we saw what happened at Elimination Chamber, and then we kept seeing him on TV, but nothing else apart from that. Elimination Chamber was a while ago now. So give or take, we've been seeing The Rock for 6 months, isn't it? Let's give or take. I woke up to a plethora of messages, even though I watched the clip of him getting a 15-minute standing ovation, by the way, him and Emily Blunt, which, listen, I don't know, we ain't watched the movie yet, but it looks from the trailer, it's going to be cold. I love Emily Blunt. I think her and The Rock have worked together a few times now. Seemed to be a good connection there. Rock seems to, I know he spoke about wanting more serious roles that we'll get to as well. A plethora of messages, notifications. I can see the dots, red dot, 17 messages, DMs, Twitter. Yeah. Are you going to speak on The Rock? Are you going to speak on The Rock? Now, you have to understand, and I'm going to let you like into something now because I don't want this again, bro. The Rock is my favorite wrestler of all time, man. After that, it's Roman Reigns. You guys don't message me saying, have you heard about The Rock? Okay? Because normally, when people say that to me, it means someone's dead or they've done the unthinkable and they're about to get arrested. I don't want to hear any of that stuff about The Rock unless it's true. But then again, you know what I mean? Let my heart live, bro. All right? Let my heart live. I don't want to see him trending. I don't like when my favorite people are trending for no reason, because then I just assume that if I click on this name, they're gonna see a black and white photo. I don't want to see it. All right. Now, I'm not gonna get into that. Let's not. We'll have to unveil sources and stuff like that. Supposedly, The Rock has lost 60 pounds, isn't it? We've seen the pictures. Said 60 pounds. The Rock didn't say 60 pounds. Not what I've heard him say with his own voice. So I don't know where somebody looked at The Rock and said, you know what? You look like you lost 60 pounds. I don't think it works. I don't think weight doesn't work like that. I'm a personal trainer and I'm pretty good at eyeing how much weight people have lost and give or take. Listen, the man's got clothes on. Funny enough, when he was sitting down with Emily Blunt and then when he got the standing ovation, he didn't look like he'd lost any weight. But then when I saw the pictures of him, I was like, okay, yeah, it's clearly lost weight. Naturally, if you're carrying around a lot of muscle and you lose weight, start to look a little bit older, to be honest. We gotta look at some stats of The Rock because I need to dispel some myths in it. So The Rock, I already know how tall he is. Let's see. See, as soon as I put The Rock in, weight loss comes up. What is The Rock's weight? Yeah. Okay, so first of all, they said The Rock was 300 pounds, and now he's between 240. Let's get to the first part of this. If The Rock got up to 300 pounds, that is not The Rock's weight that he walks around at. You freaking idiots, blood. You absolute imbeciles, bro. He just made the movie Smashing Machine, bro. Have you seen him in the trailer? How big he looks, bro? So obviously, you saw him at Elimination Chamber in a shirt, and then you've seen him in Smashing Machine trailer, and now you've seen him lose weight. He's gone up in weight, then dropped weight, and then gone past his regular weight, and he looks like he's lost weight and that. We've seen similar stuff from Batista. I'm going to get into that as well. The Rock, forget the WWE stuff, is about 6'4". Let's say 6'5". We'll give him 6'5", innit? But he's about 6'4", because I've seen him, you know what I mean? All right. So 240, they're saying he is now because he's lost now. Looking at The Rock, he looks less than 240 to me now. But weight doesn't work like that because, you know, like, fat takes up more space in your body, but it doesn't weigh more. It's exactly the same. The Rock looks like he's lost a bit of muscle. I'm going to maybe exhibit B blood just to keep this going. So let's go to Variety because I read something on there already. Variety. The Rock. Smashing Machine, blah, blah, blah. I need to get that quote back up what I had. Okay. According to Variety, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is currently pivoting from his typical action star persona on taking on new and more challenging dramatic roles. As seen in the transformation for the film The Smashing Machine, after years of focusing on 4-quadrant blockbusters, Johnson revealed to Variety in September 2025 in an interview that he wants to explore different types of characters and has been working on developing his acting chops beyond his established image. Johnson expressed a burning desire to live out his dreams and explore his full capabilities as an actor rather than be confined to a specific category. He acknowledged that being pigeonholed in Hollywood isn't always a good thing for actors, and he wants to break out the routine of simply playing The Rock. It's almost like everyone doesn't have Google. So, I've said this for years. Everyone knows I make the joke about Jason Statham all the time. Batista said the same thing, although Batista was a little bit different because, let's be honest, even though Batista is a legend to us, if Batista had walked around any Hollywood or whatever in the past before he became the established actor he is now, which he's great at, by the way, Batista could have walked anywhere, bro. A wrestling fan would have seen that, okay, that's Batista. Everybody else would have been like, that's a big guy. I wonder what he does. The Rock couldn't do that. So, yeah, Batista being pigeonholed made sense at the time. He's a big guy. The Rock, since the start, arguably, yeah, been pigeonholed action movies, but also I think he wanted to do that. Kind of go down the route of Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was only doing those kind of roles as well. Of course, bro. You're 6'5", 250, muscle. I hear it. Hobbs and Shaw, all of that business. Walking Tall, you were small. In fact, Walking Tall, he's about the same size now. What I've seen on this weight loss, but we ain't seen him with his top off and that. And I don't really care about seeing him with his top off because I don't care about his body like that. All right. So that's what happens. And people see you. I speak to my son about this all the time. Everyone knows I love The Rock. Skyscraper, great movie. Got away with being big in that. It was fine. San Andreas, great movie. The job he was doing, he got away with that being fine. One of my favorite Rock movies is the movie Snitch, which I spoke to Enz about. And I love the movie. And to me, it's one of his best serious roles. And the only issue I had in the whole movie was when some guys beat him up and he kind of took it like a wimp because I was like, well, that's not realistic, is it? Hobbs and Shaw is a big guy. Obviously, the weight he's at now, he probably couldn't play Hobbs at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But they are bringing out another Fast and Furious. So unless they've already recorded it, he's probably going to go back up in weight and we'll find out. No one has this problem with Christian Bale is the guy when it comes to losing weight and putting on weight and putting on muscle and losing muscle. He's the guy. You've seen the Machinist. You've seen him as Batman. You've seen him as Gore the Hunt. You've seen the Gore the Butcher. We've seen it. It's normal, isn't it? So everyone's acting all dramatic. And not in a good way. Everyone's negative about another man's body. Relax, bro. Relax. I think it's very strange, in fact. I didn't want it to be a talking point, but I'm about the guy in it because I ain't having it, bro. So there, you've seen that. They were the Rock's words, innit? They were the Rock's words. No one said anything about the amount of weight he's lost. But yes, he wants to be taken more serious as an actor. He wants to explore different roles. And if anyone's flipping stupid, obviously, if they want The Rock to play, I don't know, some regular love interest who's supposed to be a guy who hasn't trained in the gym and isn't a bodybuilder and he works in a postal order. Oh, so you're just big like that for no reason. Just Samoans are just that big. Come on, man. Don't be so fucking stupid, bro. And the same thing's going to happen with play. You know what I mean? It's going to happen in the future. Rock was not a normal sized guy, bro. So that's normal. That's acting. And clearly, after WWE mugged him off and didn't listen to his creative, he don't care anymore. Everything what would have been holding The Rock back before is, I'll step back into the ring, blah, blah, blah. No, you took away the match with Roman, so we can't do that anymore. And nobody cares now. It's gone. The whole thing's done. Dead in the water. You didn't listen to when he said, I want to turn Cody heel. You all wanted John Cena heel. We saw how that worked out. So The Rock was right. So, you know, The Rock's probably thinking, I'm on the board of directors. I'm getting paid from the WWE anyway. I can always come back in the future in a different kind of role, whether it's in a suit or on screen, and he can put weight on back then. He's always going to look good because he's going to take care of himself. Obviously, he's got sports brand Under Armour and Project Rock and all this stuff. So he's got to deal with that anyway. So yeah, since you don't want to listen to me, you don't want to hear my input. Safe. I'm going to just go do my acting chops on it. Me and Emily Blunt. And I think he said something like Emily Blunt gave him the confidence when he was having a conversation with her as well, because she's a great actor, bro. All right. So that's Exhibit B. All right. Let's go to Exhibit C, bro, of The Rock. Now, I would like to get the video clip up for this. If I can, I will. If I can't, I'll just speak you through it. But this isn't something new to me because, again, I'm not stupid and you can go and search stuff. All right. The Rock talks. Okay. Suppose everyone's probably started posting it over the last couple of days. Can I find it? All right. Okay, got it. All right. This is Exhibit C. Because this all ties in. And I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. Sorry if you just come on here to see, you know, anything bad about The Rock. You ain't gonna see it. So just let everyone know that business. All right. Let's share the screen. Share screen. Share. Okay, that's clear enough for everyone.
So then I called you.
Yeah.
And I said, Doc, listen, here's what I got. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but what do you think?
Yeah.
And here's what their suggestion is. And again, I'll never forget on that Zoom, you went, okay, hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. I don't want you getting on that right now. Don't get on the medication. There's a couple of steps here, I think, that we can do that could be invaluable. For example, let's get a scan done, but let's get an AI scan done.
Yeah.
That is incredible. And I said, okay, we got the scan done. You sent it to your guy. And then it came back. And, you know, it was almost like, you know, when you hear a song for the first time, you're like, holy fuck, I love that song. That song sounds great. Yeah. So I remember when you told me, you said, hey, look, here's the report from our head cardiologist, who's a very good friend of yours. And you said that he said, looks great. It is just an anatomical thing that's happening back there. It's not built up at all. His valves look great. Come back in 3 years.
And what was amazing was, you know, your cholesterol was actually pretty good. I mean, you had low HDL genetically, which is the good cholesterol. It's a little oversimplification, but you know, when we did a deeper panel, of your cardiovascular risk factors.
Yes.
And we looked at things like ApoB, which is now being declared as this sort of the best biomarker for your heart, which again, most doctors don't
They don't do that, right?
No. We looked at your, insulin metabolic health, blood sugar and insulin, which nobody really looks at, and your insulin resistance score, which was perfect. You didn't really have any of the risk factors. Your inflammation level was super low.
So then I called you.
Yeah.
And
there's one video. Let me see if the other one's here. Here's the other one. Is this one? Give me 1 second. Give me a second. Hopefully it's this one.
When you're in Hollywood, my grandfather was a tough guy. And he had all these aches and pains, refused to go see the doctor.
What was the pain?
Cancer. It had metastasized to a point where there was just no going back.
Dwayne Johnson,
The Rock.
DJ.
He's like, what's going on? I said, I've seen doctors and I can't quite nail it. I can't quite fix it. It's in my digestion.
Even someone like you who eats really healthy, who takes care of himself, you had a lot of nutritional deficiencies, basically things that are super easy to fix.
The noise comes in many forms. You're doing it wrong. There's gurus, there's influencers. Here's what's not noise is data. And the data that, for example, a Function Health can provide. Like, that's not noise. That is.
All right. You get the point. You get the point. So, I don't know if you've not seen this podcast before. I watched the whole damn thing. It was a while ago. I watched it, to be fair. Well, not a while ago like that, but not so long ago. The point of this was, on the first podcast that The Rock had with this guy, well, when he was talking at the beginning, he was talking about this coronary heart disease, bro, where one of his atriums, the valve, was a bit blocked up in it, where he assumed it was blocked up. Obviously, you just heard him there saying they got an AI check and everything seemed to be okay, but he was deficient in certain areas and stuff like that. Now, I don't want to get into The Rock's business, because I guess it comes across as slander and all that. There's always talk about The Rock. You've seen the size of the guy, and he's 50, what was it, 55? The size of him, and steroids, bruv. Yeah, that's the thing, innit? Whether it's steroids, HGH, which is growth hormone, or TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, which everyone at that age, you probably should take it. If you get to that age, and certain things, what happens with life happens. Your testosterone drops, which means you get a little bit weaker. Your bones get a little bit, osteoporosis starts picking you a little bit weaker. TRT replaces that and puts you back at a level where you were meant to be, around like 21, 22 or something like that. A decent level so you can function and carry on doing things. Obviously, the size of The Rock looks like it's been more than TRT. The Rock's admitted to taking steroids in the past already, so whatever. He definitely lied at one point and said that, he didn't do anything. But also, he could have been telling the truth and met in that the first time he took it, he didn't see any difference, probably because he wasn't taking it properly. Has he took anything in the future? Yeah, probably, because I've seen, Pain and Gain in them movies. Is it possible for him to get to that size without it? Leave that up to you lot, but that's not here or there. My point is, there's one thing that doesn't go well with heart disease or potential heart disease. It's steroids, bro. Yeah? And what those growth hormone does, because this is the trick in Hollywood, if you say to somebody, I'm not on steroids, that doesn't mean you're not on growth hormone. They're technically two different things, isn't it? If you take human growth hormone, yes, it makes you a bigger person. Well, you have to still train and all that. So for all you lazy people out there, don't be trying to take it and you'll die. So you have to still lift and all that. They're not lazier than any other person, these people who take these things, isn't it? It enlarges your muscles, the capacity to recover, etc., etc. What most people don't know these things do is, your heart's a muscle, so it enlarges your heart. Yeah, it enlarges your hands. It enlarges your organs. That might sound great if you're a swimmer and it enlarges your lungs. Now you can breathe underwater longer. If it's your heart and you bodybuild, let's just say you've got a certain amount of blood in your body. The blood needs to be pumped around your body. Obviously, it goes in the heart, out the heart. You know what I mean? Veins, atriums, out the atrium, out your aorta. Your heart has to work harder. You're a bigger human now. Your heart has to work a lot harder. That's why so many bodybuilders at the age of around 47, because a lot of them died around that age in COVID. That's why I'm guessing COVID and steroids in the mix in it. That seems to be the thing. But your body has to work harder. For example, people who are obese, morbidly obese, and that your body has to work harder to take care of that body, that bigger size in it. So obviously, heart disease talk, acting, see more serious roles, WWE kind of stepping, you know what I mean? And his age, and You lot are not used to seeing anybody past the age of 55. Let's go on to 60s and 70s walking around the Rock size, bro. You know why nobody walks around that size? Because they're dead. That's the reason why. That's why people don't walk around the size of. No, his height, can't do nothing about that. He don't care about that stuff. The size of the Rock, you don't normally see regular 17-year-olds, and I know he's not 70 yet, but you don't normally see people walking around that size, bro, because your heart has to work too hard and they die. The Rock doesn't want to die. You lot don't want the Rock to die. I don't want the Rock to die. So perfectly, I don't think he's making an excuse for the movies. I think there's a culmination of a lot of things. It's probably got him thinking. Anyone who knows what the Smashing Machine movie is, it's probably got him thinking a lot because he's had to go into a deeper role there as well. He's thinking about his mortality a little bit more because he had a little bit of a scare. When you get a scare, you should pivot. You should change things, bro. You know, like that. I feel like I'm not the pitter of health because health checks, to find out if you're healthy, really, you have to do blood work in it. You know what I mean? Being like physically fit is not healthy, bro. You have to get blood work done, cardiovascular, VO2 max and all that stuff like that. But I think I'm reasonably healthy. I probably got a little bit too much visceral fat I need to lose because that's around my organs. Subcutaneous fat, a little bit. Could be a little bit fitter, of course, cardiovascular-wise, etc. But if I go to the doctor tomorrow and they're telling me like they're worried about me when I've been training every single day, I'm going to change something. I'm not an idiot. Just like if they tell you, yo, your lungs, blah, blah, you shouldn't smoke anymore, you should probably stop smoking. So with him, it's like, you should probably stop taking whatever you're taking or whatever you've taken in the past. You should probably stop doing these certain things. And that's what The Rock's done, bruv. And now he's smaller, but still bigger than most people. He's still in shape because shape is not, you know, a factor to shape is not the size of you. You know what I mean? It's sculpted in a different way. You know what I mean? He's still, people laud like, I don't even want to diss anyone. I'm not even dissing anyone because these people are in good shape and that. But people laud people like Hugh Jackman and Brad Pitt and Michael B. Jordan. The Rock's still bigger than all of them. So you don't need to worry about The Rock's weight. That was Exhibit C. I don't think I need to go no further. I think I made my point. Leave The Rock alone. But I will make one more caveat to the Trolls Blood. Because funny enough, I'm yet to see anyone. Actually, that's a lie. Most of the people that are talking about The Rock look like shit. So let's just get that out there. So you're probably not in the best position to be talking. In fact, you might want to, you know, find out what The Rock's doing and do that. You know what I mean? Obviously, he could have taken something. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, how did you lose that much weight very quickly? Yeah, looks like a lot of weight, but you don't know his weight. So, but you know, juice cleanse, juice fast. People do that for acting roles all the time. Remember 50 Cent did it that time when he just had shakes and then got skinny, big head, and then he done that shit movie and then got sizing, and now 50 is back to normal. The last thing I'm going to say, and this is not regular savage because I'm being serious about this. I'm being deadly serious. The people trolling and talking shit about The Rock, fine, innit? If you're putting stuff in those comments and all that, that's weird. I learned my lesson. In fact, not my lesson, but I learned the lesson from other people. So I would never do it anyway. When one of my favorite actors, Chadwick Boseman, posted a photograph online, the trolls came out in full force. They came out in full force, bro. And we know what happened to him. He had cancer the whole time. He had cancer through Black Panther, through Infinity War when he was filming, did all of that, didn't tell anyone, and passed away, bro. So when you see something rapid like that, a little bit of grace. I'm not saying don't talk about it. That's normal. It's gossip. It's celebrities. We all do it. It's fine. But be a bit more graceful to think, yo, before I start running my mouth about trolling, let's just find out if man's ill first. You know what I mean? Let's find out if, you know what I mean? Because the same people are going to be on some, which I hope it never happens, by the way. But the same people are going to be on, oh my God, The Rock meant so much to me. Dwayne, that's my guy, my favorite actor, RIP. I'm not trying to hear it. So I'm just saying it, be mindful. Fucking idiots. Anyway. I hear it. Yeah, I hear Gary Yokozuna, same family as well, innit? You know what I mean? So, Rosie as well, Roman's brother. Umaga. We can keep going, bro. And, you know, Samoans, naturally big people. So, they're always fighting that anyway. Marsha, didn't he say before he eats 20 pancakes as a day as breakfast every morning and 4 a.m.? That could have. I mean, yeah, but those videos were a while ago. That's when he was doing the Rock cheat meals and all that business and that. I don't think the Rock's lying, but also because he used to do the Rock toast as well, which obviously was eating on stream, so he weren't lying about it. But also there was a thing, and even though the Rock's my guy, he is very performative. He's a marketing genius, the Rock, isn't it? So you would normally won't find a regular video with the Rock talking without him drinking Terramana tequila, or now he's going to be rubbing Papatui on his tattoos, or he's going to have the Zoa energy drinks in the background. Nothing wrong with that. That's normal. So him living up to the big guy status and all Hercules and all that stuff, it kind of, to tell people that my cheat meals has all of these stuff and I have a big pizza and all that, it kind of goes with it. You know what I mean? It kind of lends a hand to that. It helps your image on it. You know what I mean? If I come on and say to you that I'm bodybuilding all the time, then I'll just tell you I ate half a cow earlier. It just goes with the image on it. And I get it. But chances are, it's like people who do them those eating videos where they're eating challenges and everyone says the same dumb shit every time. Oh, if he eats that much, how is he so skinny? You dumb motherfuckers, bro. Do you think he eats like this every time he eats, bro? It's a food challenge, bro. For the rest of it's one video. If man's got 12 videos, it's probably one a month. He's probably going to eat all this food and then fast for the fucking week, bro. Dumb people, man. Anyway, I hope The Rock's okay. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's okay. Yeah, exactly, Morris. I just hope he's okay. That's the main thing. But who am I? If the man said he's fine and he wanted to do it for that reason, then he's fine, isn't it? And if he ends up not being fine, it's still not up to me and my business, isn't it? I just want him to be okay. So yeah. Big up Savage. Big up Savage. Oh yeah. Big up Savage. Hope you and everyone also smash the like button and subscribe. Always doing great content. Big up to you, bro. But yeah, man, I had to get that one off my chest because I just thought it was a bit strange that people were so invested in a bad way, in a negative way. Because as I've seen stuff with The Rock before where, The Rock's never really said anything nasty to get on anyone's skin, but I know he gets onto people's skin when it comes to political stuff and all that stuff. I hear all of that. I don't care about it. And him and Oprah, yeah, I hear all of that. Whatever. But all I know is we've never seen The Rock go out his way to be horrible to somebody. So just relax, man. You know what I mean? I could understand if it was a piece of shit human. And yes, I'm biased, but also I'm honest in it. So, right, man. After this, I'll get to everyone's comments. So, it is Friday, and that means Friday Night SmackDown. Now, we already spoke on Raw. We spoke about CM Punk's comments that made no goddamn sense, but clearly the brand split doesn't matter anymore, so whatever. But we saw after CM Punk was slapped in the face by Becky Lynch and he proceeded to say, your husband's going to regret taking my title and you're going to regret putting your hands on me. Left the ring. We saw like fans with the AJ Lee sign. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them fans was a plant, to be honest, because it was a bit weird that the sign was already ready, considering they were still in Paris, but I digress from there. He got backstage, spoke to Adam Pearce. His comments were Adam Pearce, where is SmackDown next week? He said, it's the good old town of Chicago. Why? Then he smiled. Obviously, everyone put 2 and 2 together. CM Punk's from Chicago. He lives in Chicago. Him and his wife have a house in Chicago. Him, his wife, and Larry. AJ Lee is his wife, and she's the only one who can get the get back on Becky. So he goes to Chicago. Becky Lynch is there with Seth. Blah, blah, blah. We get the AJ. Turn it up. Turn it up. We get it. All of that. Okay? So everyone's expecting AJ Lee to come back. Let me caveat what I'm about to say with, do I believe that AJ Lee will return at WrestlePalooza? Yes. So that's the caveat. So I don't need you like, I called it. I don't care. I don't need you telling me that you called anything, bro. Well done. Do you want a medal? I'll get you a trophy if you need to. All right, safe. For tonight's SmackDown, also what I think might happen or what I would do, because it seems a bit too obvious that they're going to do the AJ Lee thing. Now, Paige has been gone from AEW for a minute. She has no contract. And obviously, Paige beat AJ Lee in her debut match on Raw. So, there's a connection there. Is Paige going to come back and help CM Punk? Maybe that's what happens. But as you see, I don't have Paige or Saraya in my thumbnail. Last week on Raw, we got a crossing paths between CM Punk and Rhea Ripley backstage, and she was kind of concerned about him. Okay, they left it there. Why did we get CM Punk and Rhea Ripley? Nobody can tell me. Okay, so that's one thing. Also, Rhea Ripley has nothing to do. Until Perth, she has nothing to do. She's not got the title match against Stephanie Vakia. Io has. All she's been doing is running around backstage, being friends with Io and arguing with Asuka. So that's another thing. Is it possible? Maybe. All right. I think. Oh yeah, by the way, all that stuff I was moaning about just is because Seth and Becky are not on SmackDown. So why would CM Punk ask where SmackDown is? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you not get what I'm saying? Why would he ask where SmackDown is when the superstars you're talking about are not on SmackDown? Did you ask Becky and Seth when he was in the ring, will you be on SmackDown next week? No, because we all watched it and he didn't ask. So you're just going to Chicago, well, it's your house anyway, so you can leave your house and hopefully you're going to catch Becky and Seth, who ain't wrestling on the show, by the way, in the stadium. Okay. More WWE logic that makes no goddamn sense. But I'm just a wrestling fan. Who cares what I got to say? I think today, since CM Punk said all of that, we're probably going to get a run through of the same shit we just got on Raw. But this time, while everyone's expecting AJ Lee's music, you're going to get This Is My Brutality, who also is not part of SmackDown. I think we're going to get Rhea Ripley coming to the ring to the aid of CM Punk. And I actually don't think, even though I mentioned Paige, it would be a waste to use Paige now if WrestlePalooza you're going to lose AJ, because WrestlePalooza is in 15 days. So you're going to have Paige and AJ Lee come back in 15 days. Makes no goddamn sense. So, if Rhea Ripley comes back, then obviously people are saying, Savage, well, if Rhea Ripley comes back, why would you need AJ Lee? Well, Rhea Ripley comes back to help CM Punk. They both get the better of Becky and Seth. Probably roll out the ring. You're going to regret that. Us two, used to WrestlePalooza. Okay. In that time of getting to WrestlePalooza, Asuka and Kairi Sane, seemingly, has a problem with Rhea Ripley. They have a problem with Io. I believe that on one of those shows, Rhea will be attacked, or she will be attacked on the show of WrestlePalooza at the beginning of the show. She'll be told she's not medically cleared to wrestle in said match, and CM Punk will be in a handicap match against Becky and Seth. Now, obviously, it's a mixed match, so he can't touch Becky because no attitude era. Some funny no attitude era when I just watched Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, super kick a woman in the face on TNA. Just watched it. And TNA is in partnership with WWE, but I digress. She'll get taken out before the show. They're going to say, Punk, find yourself another partner. Now, in this moment, we'll be fine, because if she was a babyface, I would have said use Roxanne Perez. She has a relationship with CM Punk. Can't do that. If Cora Jade was still around, I would say she has a relationship with CM Punk, and her and Roxanne are both fans of AJ, but can't do that because she's not around anymore either. Bayley's hearing voices in her head, and it would be pointless to use Bayley when we're still doing vignettes and nobody knows where she is. She seems to be in a random kitchen somewhere. Somehow she can get vignettes out somehow, and nobody knows where she is. So, what's the likelihood to happen? Well, everyone will say, well, yeah, but then you're ruining the pop. No, the smarks are already going to be thinking, either way, if AJ Lee don't turn up now, she's going to turn up. Now, I'm not mad at WWE for this if this happens, because I hate when they don't have a build to something. Using AJ Lee now would be stupid. Do you not think that if AJ Lee comes back, she's going to wrestle full time? I don't. Do I think she's going to wrestle more than once? No, I don't. Unless it's on the day where, Punk wins his title or whatever like that. Or they're using the Royal Rumble in the future. I think she's going to come back one time. But I could be wrong. So she'll come back that one time. I think it leaves a bigger impact. It means WrestlePalooza is going to have Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. It's going to have AJ Lee there too. And they're going against AEW, which we'll get to in a minute. On that day, it makes WrestlePalooza massive. So I believe that once CM Punk gets into that match, the crowd are going to be a bit like, oh, so really he has no partner. Like he really has no partner. And then, just as the match is about to start, that's what we're going to get. AJ Lee returns. AJ Lee, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Becky. We get the match. I don't care that much, but it would be nice to see AJ Lee. But I'm not like everyone else. Now, for the people that are hyping about AJ Lee online, I realize one thing. This is why I'm not getting onto people, because they're, oh, why are you not excited? I love AJ Lee. But if you want me to pretend that AJ Lee is like The Rock to me, I can't. But why I understand one thing is AJ Lee was in WWE from around 2011, I think, to 2015, 14. Or was she 2010 to 2000? She wasn't in there. She was there for about 4 years, bro. It's not that long. She was there. I think she finished in 2014, actually. Because obviously there was that whole thing with CM Punk and the wedding day phone call and he got sacked and all that stuff. So I think 2011 to 2000. Okay, so 2009 to 2014, 5 years. I knew it was 5 years. She was around. In my opinion, she was about, not her, she was great. She was around in the worst era of wrestling, bro. And I'm not talking about, the gobbledygook era. I'm talking about in the time I've been alive. I was born in 1990. Yeah, do the maths, all damn now, whatever. She's around in the worst era of wrestling. She was around when, like, no disrespect to, I like Sheamus now. Obviously, I love Sheamus, man, but that weird era of, like, the weird handlebar mustache, the PGDX, when it was just Shawn and Triple H, Daniel Bryan and Kane, and Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus were top of the card, and she was in the worst era. Now, her herself was in good mood. So she was in great storylines. She had the women's evolution. She was different to every wrestler on the roster. She had that thing when it was her and Big E and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I mean, she had her and Daniel Bryan. So she was in great stories herself, but it was the worst era of wrestling. I'm sorry, but that's the era. That's the only era until now, by the way, where I thought, I'm actually, if someone, oh yeah, we had a Raw general manager, by the way, that was a laptop. That was the era of wrestling where somebody asked me at the time, do you used to watch wrestling? I would have said under my breath, yes. And I was embarrassed to. And also, every time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? Yeah? So, we get that. So that's why I'm not that hyped about it. But that was a long time ago. I do agree with that. 2010 to... Listen, my son was born in 2008, so we're talking... What, 15 years? Brother, let's be honest. Like 15 years ago, the people online who were 10 in 2010 are 25 now, and they have a lot to talk about. So, if you were 10 in 2010, 2011, and you was growing up on AJ Lee and you're a girl, that's why people like Cora Jade and that loves AJ Lee 100%, which is fine. She was great, but that's why the other, like, China's not a hero. It's AJ Lee. That's why they all love her, because that's the age in it. So for those people, and they're about the age with the demographic online as well, I understand why everyone's going crazy at AJ Lee. But when her music hits, you might get Fanboy Savage, bro. Now you'll get Fanboy Savage for the night. Once I see her again on the roster, that's why I would rather her just have the impact of one match, because the same impact when I told you guys that they were gonna, and bear in mind, there's facts. You can go check my videos as well. It's like a diary. I told you guys when Penta came in about 2 months, he'll just be regular. I told you when Rey Fenix comes in about 2 months, he'll just be regular. I told you when Rusev comes in about 6 weeks, regular. It took him 4. Aleister Black, in about 2 weeks, it took him 1. Yeah. So, my track record's pretty good with that. Now, I hope they don't treat it like that, because we've got Nikki Bella on the roster right now, who was around when AJ Lee was there. You got Paige could come back, who was around when AJ Lee was there. So we could do quite a lot with her if she stays on the roster. She was a big part of the women's evolution, even though she's not credited as such. She did lead the way, kind of. Yeah, I mean, she was the one, probably because she was the best woman on the roster at the time, but she was the most focal one at the time, focal one. Maybe Beth Phoenix and that as well. But she was the one leading the way. She, you know what I mean? She wasn't dressing all like, and I'm not got a problem, by the way. I'm a male, bro. She wasn't dressed all like overly sexual and that. She was in shorts and long Converse and a t-shirt. So, and she done her thing. And I think, you know, without that and the rub that she gave Paige by Paige beating her on Raw, by the way, on an open challenge, Paige wouldn't be where she is today. So she's done a lot of great things. So that's what I think is going to happen. That's why on my title and thumbnail it says Swerve, because I do think she's coming back. And it's not a new thing. They've been asking CM Punk about AJ Lee since he's been back as well. She's in great shape still. That's never changed. Although I will say one thing. People, when she posted that picture before and she had all the abs, everyone was like, oh my God, have you seen how great shape she is? Like, I've never seen her look like that. What? She's been in great shape the whole time. She's always had abs. She's always had abs. It's not even a new thing. But yeah, I'm sure she'll be great. She did the remember that video 2023 when she was wrestling CM Punk in the ring when she was getting him ready for that TV program Heel. She looked like regular AJ Lee but better. She was in Glow and she looked great in that as well. So yeah, man, I think we are going to get a Batman, but obviously the Swerve is for tonight, not for WrestlePalooza, which is dog shit, by the way. And what I want to get onto before I leave about WrestlePalooza was AEW All Out was already booked in for that day, same time as WWE WrestlePalooza. Well, WrestlePalooza came after WWE. People keep calling it counter-programming. It's very possible that WWE being petty with it. I don't think it's a problem because why should WWE care? What I do think is, I think WWE is actually shooting themselves in the foot a little bit because every AEW person, like everyone who watches WWE, all of them don't watch AEW. And everyone who watches AEW don't watch WWE, but there's a lot that do watch both. And you're almost telling one of AEW's biggest ones, All In and All Out, versus your regular one you just came up with. And they might choose AEW on that day. Or for some of them might. Or do you want to give that kind of like thing for your fans? So now Tony Khan shit himself and he's moved it to 3 o'clock, so it starts earlier when it was going to be like 8. Tony Khan, you shouldn't have done that. You should have stood your ground and trusted in your product and let them go head to head. Of course, WWE is going to beat you, bro. You're never going to beat WWE. They got more fans, but you should have held your ground and done something great. What AEW should have done was got Karrion Kross to turn up in AEW on that day. It would have been a talking point. Everybody would have went over there to check at least. They wouldn't have stayed there maybe, but they would have checked. Or if WWE was shit on that day, might switch back between and wait for the Brock Lesnar John Cena match. So you messed up there. Also, what Tony Khan's done is discounted, because AEW is a pay-per-view subscription. So on HBO, I think it's discounted it by $10, which is, and you know, to watch WWE in the US now, I think it's 50. What is it? 50. WWE is $30 and with ESPN and all that stuff. And I think AEW All Out was about $50, but it was a pay-per-view. But obviously that's how they run their stuff. He's discounted it by $10. You've helped out the people who were going to pay for it anyway, who are going to watch it earlier now. But the people that were flying in to watch it in Toronto, brother, you know how many people booked these tickets well in advance? So now, if you was planning on getting into Toronto for like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, get there, go watch the show at 8, leave on the same night or the next morning without going to bed, you've messed up their plans now. Because now their plane's going to get here after AEW already starts for some of them. So that was a bit weird. But yeah, man, stand your ground a little bit more, man. Of course, you're not going to beat WWE, but it's not about beating them. You should care about your own product and your own team and trust them. You're not showing much faith in the AEW roster doing that. But yeah. Bill Morris said, remember the pipe bomb promo? Oh, what? I didn't even... What? Oh, yeah, you did say promo. Remember the promo where she had her own pipe bomb to the Divas in the ring and that ringside? Yeah. I don't want to call it pipe bomb, though. It's overused, bro. It's overused. But yeah, I do remember it. Remember when she said, I'm 26, so I'm too old for you, Jerry? Yeah. It's cold. No wonder they had Christian Cage and Edge team up in Toronto. Yeah, good idea, man. That's a great idea. Like, why wouldn't you? That's what WWE should be doing with John Cena. That's what WWE normally do. I mean, WWE's gone from having Alba Fire and Isla Dawn win the tag team titles in Scotland because Scotland's life. But John Cena can't retire in Boston. Yeah, well done, Paul. Well done, Paul Levesque. But anyway, we've done an hour, longer than I wanted to do, but I had to get some stuff out. Big up to all of you like in the chat. Love for the love. You've been amazing, of course. I will be back. Maybe SmackDown's good. If there's any talking points, I'll do SmackDown tomorrow. If I do, let's talk SmackDown tomorrow. It will be just letting you lot know early. If you're in the UK, this is valid. If you're in the US, you might not want to watch it. I'm either going to do it in the morning around between 10 and 11, or I'm going to do it midday, which is like 12. But it depends. If Ender's got a football stream, then it depends on either side of that. But that's the likelihood I'm going to do it, innit? Because sometimes I get to the Nasium so early in the morning and I come back and do all this work that I might as well just, you know what I mean? But love for the love, guys. You are going to enjoy the rest of your day. That was, that was Savagetalks Live. And maybe we'll see AJ Lee, man. Turn it up!